Alright. So my last one of these that I did, I said that I was planning on doing 2 of these a week. And there is absolutely no way that that's going to happen. Far too busy for that. So instead, I just decided that I'm going to start doing these whenever I feel like it, whenever I have a topic that I want to talk about. They're going to be a bit more sporadic, a bit more random than I had intentionally planned, but at least this way it won't feel forced. The only time I'm going to be doing a topic, or doing one of these I should say, is when I have something that I actually want to talk about. So I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of watching, specifically on Joe Rogan's podcast. Last night I was watching him and I forgot his name. Neil deGrasse Tyson. There we are. I'm stupid. I was watching him and Neil deGrasse Tyson talk. Today I was watching Joe Rogan and Milo Yiannopoulos. I think that's how that's at least spelled. I have no idea how it's pronounced. Watching them talk, and it's gotten me, between the two conversations, it really has me thinking about the concept of religion. Now, I understand the taboo nature of such a topic being talked about on the internet. That is a terrible bag of worms. Can of worms? Wait a second. I should probably cut that part out. Anyway. Can of worms, I think, is right. We nailed it, boys. We're good. It's not a good topic to talk about on the internet just because people are so willing to fight and argue in very uncivil ways. However, I think it's a very important topic that people actually legitimately discuss with some sense of civility. So this is probably not going to be covered in one shot here. I think I'm going to do this over the course of a few different videos. Hey, come on. Don't need to pee on everything. Say hi, Gene. Once again, he still doesn't care. So today I just kind of wanted to give some of my thoughts on the topic. I want to hear anybody who's willing to listen. I want to hear your opinions, because this is one of those topics that every single person on the planet, for all 7 billion of us, there are 7 billion different perspectives on whether or not somebody is religious, why you are of that religion, what your thoughts are, you know, just the way you see the world. And that is something that intrigues me immensely. I like hearing other people's perspectives. I like sharing mine a bit less, but that's mostly because there's so much hostility in this world for people who are of a different belief system than you, which I'll be honest, I don't fully understand. I don't know why two people not sharing the same beliefs means they should dislike each other. And I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that concept. So I'm hoping maybe some of you out there can help me out with that issue. Hopefully some people are able to describe that to me or explain exactly why that is the case. So I was talking to my wife the other day. We were having a discussion on this topic. She and I, our opinions vary a bit in the topic of religion. I myself am not a religious individual. Come on, let's go. Hey, every tree, really, come on. I'm not going to say that I'm atheist, because that tends to bring some connotations with it that I'm not willing to accept into my own personal belief system. Atheism almost feels, at least nowadays with the advent of the internet and the way people go about arguing, it really feels like if you're atheist, you're anti-religion, which should not be the case, but that at least is the way I've perceived the world. So when I say I'm not religious, or I don't have a religion, by no means does that mean that I think less of any religion or less of anybody who believes in a certain one. We just share different opinions, and I'm fine with that. Hopefully you are too. But I guess that's part of the reason why I'm doing this, why I'm asking these questions. So the wife and I were talking, and I was thinking about the concept of religion, not so much the religions themselves, but the... You all right? How do I want to say this? Let me just start here. In pretty much every single culture that I'm aware of, every culture, every society has some sort of concept of a religion. And a lot of them, if not almost all of them that I'm familiar with, are extremely similar. At their baser values, they are very similar to each other. There are minor differences that have caused wars throughout the centuries, and hell, still to this day. But I was looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, if every culture of people around the world has very similar religious stories, religious experiences, things of that nature, then that leads me to believe that one of the very few things has happened. One, maybe this shit's all real. Maybe there is 1,000 different gods who have dealt with thousands of different people in different ways, and phone just went off. And people have told their stories through different ways throughout the years, and they've become millions of different religions. Maybe it's a single God who's interacted with people, and the same thing happened. Thousands of different people through thousands of different ways have told their stories throughout the years and have become millions of different religions. Maybe not literally millions, but you get my point. Maybe people have evolved in a way that, and I've heard this described before, we use religion as a way to fill the gaps in our knowledge about the world around us. This seems the most plausible to me, which is a large reason of a large part of the reason I am not a religious individual. But hey, I'm more than willing to admit I may be wrong. Hell, we all may be wrong. None of us may be right. We don't know. That's the brilliance of the world around us. None of us know. We can all believe, we can all think, we can do all of these things, but none of us know. I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say something on a podcast yesterday that really resonated with me. He said, "The universe is of no obligation to make sense to you." Now, if you really think about that statement, truer words have never been spoken. The universe is of no obligation to make sense to you. It's your job to figure out the world around you and to figure out what you believe, what you think, how you feel. It's not the universe's job to explain it to you. So, let me see how far I am here. Phone turned off, so I know I've been doing this for... Okay. Alright, I'm at 10 minutes. I'll keep going for a bit. So, with that conversation there, one of those possibilities I believe to be true. There's the key importance there, people. Keep that in mind. I'm not saying that one of these are fact. I'm not saying that I even know what I'm talking about. I should probably cut that too. What I'm saying is, I believe one of those things to be true. Now, I personally believe the one that I find to be most plausible true. But I may be wrong. And I'm fine with that. I would actually prefer I would actually prefer it if I was wrong. I want nothing more than to one day, after my time on this earth has expired, I want nothing more than to go someplace, somewhere, I don't know where. Nobody does. But I would love nothing more than to go somewhere and see my family again. See my grandparents, my cousins, my aunts, uncles, those who I can no longer see here, who I can no longer talk to or go to for advice or guidance or a laugh or any of that stuff. I want nothing more than to be able to talk to them again someday. But with that said, I still have to look at the world in an objective manner. And objectively speaking, I don't think that's going to be the case. I want nothing more than to be wrong. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to live my life like a jackass. Should probably cut that. And, walk around and be a jerk to people and be mean to people because I don't believe that there's any consequence in the afterlife. No. That's just it would take a terrible person to think that way. I don't personally believe that we need a religion to be our moral guidepost, but that's for me personally. I don't know what other people need. I don't pretend to know what other people need. This is gonna be awkward. Not experienced this before. All right. Calm down, buddy. How we doing? All right. Relax, buddy. All right. I had that happen before. Granted, this is only my second one of these. Maybe I'll get more used to that. I don't know, something feels so conceited to see somebody walking around, filming and talking to nobody. Then again, it's the internet. It's not me talking to nobody, it's me literally talking to everybody. Everybody that's willing to tune in, everybody that's willing to listen. I don't remember what I was talking about before I stopped there. So maybe that's a good place to stop this for the day. Remember, my goal of this isn't to try to convince you of anything. I'm not trying to tell you how you should believe. What I'm trying to do is explain my perspective on the world, and I'm hoping to hear your perspective. I want to hear what you think, why you think it, what you believe, and what experiences in your life you've gone through to make that belief what it is. This is a learning experience for me, hopefully even more so than what any of you take away from it, because any comments, questions, I'm going to read all of them because this is a topic that I am extremely interested in. The way people's minds work. I want to know. I want to learn. So let me know. Interact. Ask questions of me if you want that I can answer in the next part, because I have quite a bit more to talk about here, but this one is definitely running long. So yeah, that's going to be it. If you watched all the way through, I do greatly appreciate it. Sorry, I have a cold and I'm out here in shorts. So if you watched all the way through, I really do appreciate it. You're the best kind of person. And yeah, that'll be it for today. Bye now.